Hello, I'm Proclamation, recording on Windows PETA, otherwise known as Windows 11. The title of this video is Debloating Windows 11, Should You Even Try It? That, of course, is going to depend on you. If you're happy with your Windows 11, you don't need to be watching this video. But if you're not happy with Windows 11, there's a lot to be unhappy about. One is that there's a word called Telementry where Microsoft is sending things back home to the mothership. For Windows Update, it wants to use your bandwidth with other computers on the internet, kind of like creating like a BitTorrent. And I don't understand why a billion-dollar company needs to do that when they got their own servers. You know, I'm sure that they would say, well, we don't want our servers being bogged down. Well, I don't want you being using my computer either for your Windows Update information, because that's not right. You're not paying my internet. You got Windows Defender. Every time you click on a software, it's going to be scanning it. Even if you close out the software and then go reopen it, it's going to scan it again. Windows 11 has a malware built into it. And so you got two things scanning. You got Windows Defender that's scanning your network. So if you're playing online games and you got a lag, there's one of your lags. There's other things that can, cause the computer to lag. Your NVMe2 chip could be overheating, and when it does, it's going to slow down. I did put in heatsink from Best Buy and the two that I have in here, and it's gotten down to like 30 degrees, but I've seen that the main one, which is the C drive, can get up to 50. Now, for myself, I was not happy with Windows 11. I've been fighting with this machine for 3 months. I could have been doing music on my Windows 7, even though it has limitations. It's an older machine, a 6-core AMD CPU from a long time ago, 13 years ago. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM. But my Windows 7 was booting up faster. It was running software faster. I mean, it was kicking Windows 11 butt. And I went hardcore on this for myself. I need a fast machine for audio, for video. Windows Update is broken. Windows Defender is gone. There's Microsoft malware, gone. Telemetry, gone. Now, the first thing you want to do before you make any changes is create a system restore. Now you go in your settings. Now I'm using OpenShell instead of the Windows 11 menu. I'll go down here to the program. It shows my program. It's pretty much like Windows 7. Works pretty good. Pretty happy with it. But I also got settings down here on my toolbars that I can bring up. And then you just do a search for system restore. Create a restore point. I only have it on my C drive. I don't have it on the other two. And then you go down to create. Type in whatever date you want to put in. If you're going to do multiple things on your computer in one day, put an A, B, C after the date. You want to make sure that you do a system restore. Anything goes wrong, get in the safe mode and restore. The other thing you want to do is backup. You want to back up your drive periodically, especially as you make changes. System restore can work to a point, but if something really goes bad, system restore won't help. And that's why you need this thing right here. And you can see on the website I have it. You press on the button on the bottom here to open it up, and your NVMe2 chip goes here. You put this on your USB port, and you copy your hard drive onto it for backup. You got to do backup. At least do backup once a month. Highly recommend it. If you haven't made a whole lot of changes, then you can hold off, but it's really important to have that discipline of knowing, okay, it's time for me to back up. Keep records. I know nobody likes to do it and stuff. We all have busy lives, but when your computer crashes and stuff, you're really going to have a very busy life. And the software that I use is this one right here called Macrium Reflect. I'll leave a link to the video on it. The guy that did it, you'll have to go to the, I think the middle of the video. He said when he did it, he messed up. So he went back, but it did work what he has. And you can see how fast that booted up. Oh, there's a new update. I'll do that later. I got the lifetime license for version 8. I'll leave a link for the free version of 8 for 30 days. I tried it out, the free version. I liked it, so I have it on my desktop and I have it on my laptop. Now, if your computer came with McAfee 30-day trial, I recommend just getting rid of it. But to get rid of it, you have to go into safe mode and then go into apps and uninstall, and you hold down the shift button and reboot, and it should bring you into safe mode or some sort of recovery menu that you'll have to go through and just take your time with it, and you'll find safe mode. Usually it's like on a list. It has in one of the menus from like 1 to 10 of different things you can do. And the reason why is because McAfee would not uninstall under the Windows system running in its full-blown mode, I guess you would call it. It froze up Windows 11 and I had to reboot it. But when I booted back up, I went into my task manager, which is Control-Alt-Delete. You can see what's running in the background and stuff. And McAfee was still running. And so I came to this site, and there is a product for it. You're going to want to look for, right down here, it says, follow this step to remove your McAfee product. Use option 1 first. It didn't work with option 1 for me. So I got this program here, and I ran it just in the regular Windows system, rebooted it, McAfee's gone. If you have Windows 11 Home Edition, you do not have a GP editor, I recommend that you put it on your computer. You will have to do it yourself. This from Windows Report, I do believe is where I got the information from, but it does work if I go and do, and there it is, GP edit right there, MSC. I'll run as administrator, and you can do a lot of settings on this. I do believe I removed my email address for my login this way. If you go through, you'll see, let me blow this up big. No means it's not activated and has been configured. Be careful. You can do things to your system using this, but it is good to have. Now, I talked about Telementry, getting kind of caught here on my wire. And it's not just Microsoft that sends things out. Nvidia does it too. You got things running from Nvidia being sent out and running in the background as well. I have all these different pop-up from all these different programs without the program being run. A lot of the things that I found has to deal with registry, disable and enable. If you double click on this, the registry editor will come in. It'll ask you if you want to merge this. That's what it's basically asking you, yes or no. I'm going to say no because I already have it. There's another way to do this though, and that is to go into control panel here, and it has File Explorer options, and then you go into view. Now you go on down a little bit till you come to show sync provider notification. You see that I have it unchecked. Just uncheck that and it's supposed to do the same thing. A lot easier than dealing with the registry editor. When dealing with your registry, be very careful, because if you do something wrong in your registry, your whole system is toast. Now, the debloat folder is stuff that I've collected off the internet, researching how to get this system running properly as far as I'm concerned. The one I would recommend would be removing your display driver and then doing a NV clean install. It will give you the option of what you can take out of the Nvidia driver, because Nvidia is sending information out, and then it's also using a lot of resources. If you go in your task manager, I think mine's just showing 2 NV containers, but with the system, when I first got it, there were several. This gives you the option to take things apart. There's 2 drivers. There's the studio and there's the gaming. I went with the studio driver. It's fine. I can't really see having the gaming driver because I don't do gaming. I could see maybe a gaming driver for doing video work. You maybe get more crystal clear graphics. What do you think? Because I really don't know. And you can find DDU here at GRU 3D and download it there, and it will install safe mode. You got to be in safe mode when you uninstall and install. Be in safe mode with internet connection in case you download the wrong display driver, like me. Oops. And also pay attention to the settings in NV Clean Install, because there will be a check mark that you can put for the control panel. You would want the control panel. And then NV Clean Install is at Tech Power Up. So you can download that. CrystalDiskInfo is good to have to see what your temperature is of your NVMe2 drive and any other drives you have on. And it's right here. So see, I'm at 52, which is pretty high, but I'm using the C drive and recording on it. 42 for the second one. I have heatsink on them, so they could probably be a lot more hotter. And then the third one is a Evo. Now, I have Samsung Magician, but I don't use it very often. This one's a lot more quicker. They both give out the same reading. The only thing with Samsung Magician you got to be careful of, you might be tempted to go performance mode instead of just standard. But performance mode will make those chips run way, way hotter because they won't go idle. They do go idle when they're not being used, and that helps cools them down. Now the Evo is a different thing. There was a performance mode on it, and I enabled that. Whether I'm going to get any kind of performance, I don't know. The next program would be O&O ShutUP. You got several things. You got recommendation. Now it's saying it's detected changes made to the settings since it was last used. I'm not going to do anything like that because I don't want it going back changing anything. It will give its recommendation, like disable sending URLs from apps to Windows Store. I don't do Windows Store. Pretty much went with a lot of their recommendation. This is current user, and you also have it for local machine. Now the 10 apps manager, some of this stuff is for Windows 10, but it does work for Windows 11. And this one here, you can uninstall or reinstall stuff. Please create a system restore point before uninstalling. Now I took all of this stuff out, remove all. The one program I really do like is WinAreoTweaker. That was the next one I did. Be very careful with the software. You can do a lot with it. Take your time with it. Closet menu, enable closet full content menu. It will display full menus directly when you having to click on show more option. I have this. If I go and right click and I go show more option, I can kill responding task. I can run the PowerShell. I can browse. That's my sample library software. I can unblock, if Windows blocks me on a file, I can unblock it. You see I got my Nvidia control panel. I got new for folders and anything. Advanced startup option. What will happen is the computer will reboot and it'll go into the recovery menu. I won't have to hunt for it on the shift key and reboot, which also helps down here, safe mode with networking, safe mode with command prompt. That is killer to have. The minute you click on that, you go into safe mode. When you're done, right click, get in this menu again, and you exit out of safe mode, and you go back into Windows. And you can also do a create restore point from this. And if I go here, it might show, oh, there it is. And so it's doing a restore point. Quick, easy, and accurate. I've rebooted from them. They work. Disable background apps. You can do a lot of things. And this could be what you'd be looking for more faster system. So take your time with it. Be patient. And then reboot. Check your system and see if you feel that it's any better. There is one, it's hide last username. Now, hide your username from lock screen. I have on, don't display last login username. Don't check that, because if you do, you will not be able to log into your Windows 11 without going through your Microsoft account. And before I leave this software, I made a terrible oop. I thought clicking this would give that menu right here. and it doesn't. This menu is coming from checking things down here like contact menu. There's shutdown, there's settings. So you add settings to it. And this safe mode content, there we go. Now the meat and potato that I used to debloat my Windows 11 was from this site I discovered. Fully debloat and optimize Windows 11 for better performance. So I watched the video, but I went to his site, which is right down here. And this is what I went off, was his debloat privacy guide. It is meant for advanced users. So go careful. This, I think, was for when you're setting up your Windows 11 installation. That's no problem. I had that already pre-done. He talks about doing a temporary account, temporary local account. I made a local account and I just kept it. And I don't remember if I did the local account after I cleaned it up or before, but I'm on a local account now because I don't want to log in to Microsoft in the cloud using my Microsoft account. He talks about using WinTweak.exe there. Also DISM++, just give some careful reading. And then this is his software. I hit 1 and did it. But then what I did is I went back and I did all these in the command prompt as administrator. Go down to here for search and you just do CMD and that's it there. You right click it, run administrator. And then I went and I just copied each line going down. I mean, I went pretty thorough. Took up a whole day, but I was happy at the end. I did uninstall Office before I did this and install Microsoft Office 2010 because I own it and Microsoft took the license. Now, when it comes to Windows Defender, it does break Windows updates. You can come down here and just disable Windows Defender, but Windows Update could reactivate it. The biggest problem was you have to go in and delete like the sec health UI folder, and he gives where to find it and stuff, and it doesn't always take. Sometimes there can be a fight, and then getting rid of the malware was really hard. Don't know why. I'm sure it's baked into the cake of Windows 11. Now this might be a bit challenging depending on how you want Windows 11 to be debloated. Now there is a second way to go at this, and that's NTLite. Now I used NTLite for XP and it did really good. I had a fast XP system. It's changed now. You can go to downloads, but I don't know what's involved with the download. I don't know what the restriction is because it is being sold for, like, here's a home version, professional, business. It's in euros, so that would never work for me because my vanilla gift card doesn't do euros. And then you would come to this site of Microsoft and you go down and download the Windows 11 disk image. You would get the ISO, and it's that ISO that you will be altering through NTLite. And then you would get Rufus, where you could take that ISO and put it on a USB stick that you can reboot from. And then you would reboot your modified Windows 11. Now for antivirus, there is a way to work around it. There's several programs out there. This is one by Avira. You got for home, for business, and you got utilities. You want to click on utilities and you want to go down, I believe it's this one, the rescue system. And what it is, you'll download the antivirus software as an ISO, use Rufus to put it on a bootable USB, boot on that USB, and you can scan your system. Usually if you try to run an antivirus software on a virus-infected system, it's not going to take. But this way, your system is asleep, and you're scanning it while it's not awake. And there's one other thing I need to mention before ending this video, and that is services. And these are all the different services that are running. I haven't attacked this part of the problem yet, but I will. I don't know what I'll turn off and turn on, but I will be turning things off. I already have turned some things off, like Hyper-V, and then down below you got remote access, remote registry. The only thing, do not turn off remote procedure call. Do not turn off remote procedure call locator, or you will have an unbootable system. Now, you usually have automatic, maybe automatic delay, manual, or disable. And I've always seen manual trigger, but I haven't seen how that setting is set up. It might be a Microsoft thing. If I go to remote registry and go to properties, I got it disable. If I can do automatic delay start, automatic, manual. Now to know what services to leave alone, what to put on manual, what to disable. blackviper.com is the place I would recommend. This is for Windows 10, but should apply to Windows 11. You want to be very careful doing your services, what you turn off and on. Backup first, not system restore. You want to back up, because if you disable a service, you won't be able to get into your Windows to even run system restore. I used his recommendation for XP. I used it for my Windows 7. I still have my Windows 7 all printed up of his recommendation. It's in some folder. Then you come on down and make sure you do read all the rest of it, but I'm just showing you where it starts at, and it starts right down here. You can see like exit X, manual, and he'll go through all the different things. It will work. In conclusion of this brief introductory, really, into debloating Windows 11, a lot is going to be on your shoulder. You're going to have to carefully read things. Things can go wrong. That's why I stress system restore and backup. You want to at least do backup before you start. Mine has been off and on because things wouldn't work. I've had crashes. I don't have all the information of everything that I went through. It was a lot. This was a lot. It was worth it, but it was a lot. And so I'm just throwing out where to go to work on it. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. It all depends on your circumstances. It's worth debloating Windows 11. Windows is a good operating system, and Microsoft will get their fudging hands off of it. And to debloat it will take time and work. I was going to say work first, but I did time and work. So if you're going to start on this, plan a whole day, plan 2 or 3 days. Mine was off and on, and I'd be fighting with it and stuff, get frustrated, come back to it later, had other things to do. We all have personal lives. You want to make sure you do a backup before you do any changes, like I said, including services. And you want to make sure that once you're done doing what you're doing for the day or after a couple of hours, reboot the computer and see if it boots up. If it does boot up, make another backup right then and there. This is a very minimal, really, approach. I wish I could have gone more detail, but there was no way for me to film while working on the computer, and my mind was analyzing all sorts of different things when it came to crashes. And there was crashes, there was some tough moments, but I made it through, and I hope that you do too. It's worth debloating Windows 11. I find it totally unusable in the form that it's in on computers. Mine can't be any different than any other computers out there, whether it's gaming or not. And it needs to be trimmed down a lot to work the way that it needs to work, fast and efficient and reliable. I don't feel that way with the normal Windows 11 system. So until the next video, take care.